Los Angeles podcast of Anaheim, a semi-daily audio blog for all things Angels baseball. This is the post-game pod for Game 3, and I'm going to keep it a little short tonight since there's something going wrong with my throat. It's just as well because now I can't scream and cry about how the Angel season may or may not have ended its competitive phase when Garrett Richards walked off the mound with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th inning. Everybody understands how important this outing was for Richards. Coming back from orthobiologic surgery on his elbow, he was holding his bicep. He was rubbing his bicep as he came off the mound. Up until then, he'd been throwing extremely well. He had a rough first inning, but didn't give up any runs. Struck out the side in the second, and he cruised. He was in the 3rd inning. He only made 5 pitches. He was in the 5th inning. He had a couple long at-bats, but he was throwing his fastball at 97, easy, touching 97 repeatedly, and then throwing his hard slider without any problems. He looked completely in command, and all of a sudden, he stopped. Maldonado came out from the catcher's position and then waved the team officials out. Socia and the trainers went to the mound. Richards left the game, and that's that. The Angels are saying that pulling him out was a precautionary measure, that he had bicep cramps, rather. But, of course, if you'll remember, last year when Garrett Richards first went down with his UCL tear, the Angels said it was, not a big deal. He had cramps or he had some sort of discomfort, and it wasn't until after the MRI that they admitted that, Richards' pain was worse than they had let on, that they had suspected that he had a UCL tear, and they didn't talk about it to the media afterwards. It's possible that they're doing it again. Baseball teams are like politicians. They're not going to tell you anything unless they absolutely positively have to, and they will stab you in the eye and burn down your house before they make themselves look bad up to the last possible moment. So, I hope so. Richards had a little smile coming off the mound, and I don't think he'd have been smiling if he thought that he really did hurt his UCL again. That said, who knows? Who really knows? All I know is that if he goes down, the Angels are done in Game 3 as a competitive entity in this season. I know that's a wildly negative thing to say after 3 games, especially after they won the 3rd game, but that's just how important Richards is. As for the rest of the game, the Angels win 5-0. The bullpen that had a rough time the first couple games really stepped up today. Alvarez came in to finish off the 5th for Richards, and then Ramirez pitched 2 2/3. Yasmiro Petit, he finished 9th, and he'll probably have a shot at taking Richards' slot in the rotation if Richards does indeed end up missing a lot of time. The offense was really cranking. 5 runs on 13 hits, though. Andrelton Simmons is off to a good start. He had a double to score the Angels' first runs tonight. He ended up with 2 hits in the game. Cole Calhoun had 3 hits. Trout with 2 hits. C.J. Cron had 2 hits. The offense overall was making good contact all up and down the lineup, and it really could have been much worse than just 5 runs. Danny Espinosa in the 2nd inning, he singled in 2, then got caught trying to steal second. Maldonado followed with a double that would have scored him. In the 5th inning, after Trout and Pujols singled to score a couple runs, C.J. Cron lined out into a double play. That line drive could have easily gotten into the right field corner. So it could have been a lot worse. It could have been a true blowout. Instead, 5-0. Very good job by the Angels. Still, the cloud over the entire night is going to be Garrett Richards' injury. How bad is it? How long he's going to be affected? And right now, it's not something we can really know until they get back to Southern California in a couple of days. In post-game interviews, Richards has said everything is fine, according to him, that he's not concerned. The team is saying they're not concerned. They're not planning on giving him an MRI. And they're actually going to wait till the team comes back down on Friday before he gets checked out by team doctors. Their seeming nonchalantness, I guess, is reassuring. I don't know. I'm not reassured, but until we know more, I'm just going to try to not freak out. Anyways, my thread's closing up. The Angels are going to, they have a day game tomorrow. Tyler Skaggs is going to make his first start. And then they head back to Anaheim for the home opener on Friday night. Hopefully they'll come back home with a 3-1 record and Richards' arm will be just fine. We'll find out more tomorrow. Until then, I'll talk to you soon.